Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Matthew. How you doing? Fist bump. And that's Ken Rod over there too. Oh, sorry. You know what? That Ken Rod comment is on the background. How are you, Matthew? Good to see you. Before we get going, can I get a quick just a check 1 2 1 2 on this mic? It's a new mic from JTS that I'm reviewing this week, and it does have, I mean, I'm hearing, it's because of the monitor. I'm hearing a bit of an echo, like a kind of, are you hearing that? Or does it sound okay? Just want to know. I think it's plenty loud actually. And Prism has Prism Studio has a pretty nice noise gate function on it, because I do have the air conditioning here on in the Taiwan Live TV studio. It's pretty hot. Got ice water in my cup. And I don't really talk about this cup, but it's got a flip top, which I really like because it's nice because you can just go like this and flip a couple drops. But it has also a carabiner on it, see, which is cool because like if you want to put it on your bag or something, you can just flip that in. Seems good. Don't hear an echo. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Thank you. We got a little bit of a burn back here on the screen, but I don't care. Okay. So I also have my my JTS headphones too. The 565 model. They're pretty decent. I've had them for a couple of months now. They got a really nice low bottom end on them, which is quite good for mastering, because you always want to know where you are. Excuse me, with the bottom end on on the mastering. And so yeah, anyway, that's what's going on with that. Now, according to the title, which I think has propagated pretty well, Dean, fist bump to you. Good day. How are you? Yeah, nice to have you with us here. We're in the studio because obviously, I mean, I'm not going down to Mr. Woo's. I'm not going to Win-Win's. I'm not going to any of these places before. It was just, I mean, it was ridiculous. We're still at level 3, which means a couple of things. All schools are closed. All entertainment venues of any kind are closed. Like the Jawawas, they say the claw machines, because I did a little short video today. I wanted to show just a little bit of the impact in our neighborhood. You can't sit at any of the tables, outside Jar Jar, these other places, and and drink anything. You can't eat anything indoors. Masks have to be worn outside everywhere. No excuses. I mean, this is a zero tolerance place when it comes to the pandemic. Also, excuse me. My voice is shot. I've been running on a big sleep deficit again. I know I shouldn't, and you guys know that whenever that happens, I get in trouble. But I've been so busy, and I've been working on this review for JTS, and it takes a lot of work to do videos and do them right and do the narration and the cuts and everything. So, but that's okay. And I do have some studio stuff that I have to do in the meantime. So, it's really funny. I'm busier now than I've ever been. I'm busier now at 65 than I was at 35. That's just crazy. But anyway, getting back to the to the alert, level 3. Indoors, you can't have a gathering more than 5 people. Family's not included, but there's myself, my wife, and my daughter. There's 3 people. So I can only have 2 people over to visit for 5. I can't have, another couple and their kid, because that's 6. And Outdoor gatherings are limited to 10. So I guess you could, meet in a park or something. But man, they're taking it seriously. For us in Taiwan, I mean, we're scared to death because we're not used to this. We've had a whole rash of deaths now. And all the deaths have been in Taipei and New Taipei cities. Nothing down here. Well, I live in Hsinchu County, and we're having between 2 and 3 and 4 cases, single cases, a day in Hsinchu County. But when you put everything all together, still, Taiwan has somewhere between 300 maybe to 500 cases a day. And I know a lot of countries around the world would love to have that kind of a number because they have, that many cases probably in one town or kind of one locality. That ice water. I've got this little neoprene thing. It's like a wetsuit material. But this actually is a nice cup. It's from, who makes it? It's called Contigo, Contigo. And 0 to 50C water. So you can't put like boiling water in it, but you can put warm water in it for tea, but I never do. And I like it because it's got a lock on it, so you can't accidentally spring it and then unlock it and boom. Straw goes all the way down, so you don't have to tip or anything. This is really nice. And I take this with me a lot, different places. But I also have my, I haven't had anything to drink today. Look at how rich this color is. This is White Horse, one of like 1 or 2 blended whiskeys that I drink. And good evening, Dave. How are you? Nice to have you with us. And now I'm going to give a fist bump to you too. And so this White Horse is pretty nice. And this is a nice whiskey glass that concentrates the, the aroma. Not bad. So Dave, now that you're here, I'd like to know what you think of this new JTS condenser mic, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to do a full review, but what I'd like to do is go ahead and introduce the mic to you guys now, and I'll show you, basically what I want to do is show you the illustrations that are on the box. Oh, good. Okay. I would think that it would, because JTS is just known. They're known for incredible microphones. I mean, this one over here, I keep it wrapped up in the bag. By the way, let me just mention something, okay? You guys that have professional microphones, don't keep those foam, those clown ear foam kind of pop filters on them. Don't keep those on your mics because they crumble, and especially in an environment like Taiwan. And when it crumbles, man, that dust sticks to the microphone capsule, and it's terrible. Now I got this one mounted on the stand. This is the new one. I've got a little pop filter around the outside of it, but in a minute I'll show you some pictures. You see what it looks like. But this is a JTS 1P. I mean, by itself, look at this thing. I mean, it is just. And it's die cast, and you see the lines on here, that's in the body. Look at that. I mean, that's just gorgeous. And the front of it has a little window that lights up when the tube, and this thing is like, it's die cast. And so the amazing thing is that this microphone is also what we would consider a large capsule condenser microphone, but it is a USB type. It's not tube preamp, it's solid state. And it has a couple of really interesting features on it, but one of the most outstanding features is it also has the zinc aluminum alloy die cast body. There isn't any plastic on this thing except like the knobs. When I saw this thing, I mean, the first thing that impressed me about it was the weight. So let me do this. Let me show you the box. Now there's two versions. There's one called the JS-1P. Now this is funny. I'm going to tell you, JTS mics, they have a lot of JS-1 mics. This is the tube one I showed you is the JS-1 tube. This is the JS-1P. And I don't know what the P stands for because it's, I don't know. I think it's podcaster because it says it's podcaster mic on it. But to call this a podcaster mic only refers to, you know, the ease of function, not that it's only good for podcasting. Because I'm going to record, I'm telling you, I'm going to record my acoustic guitar on one of my tunes. I'm going to try a couple of tracks with it, and I'm going to include that in the review. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try something crazy. I'm going to use my Surface Pro with Reaper and just try to record some guitar tracks in Reaper on my Surface Pro, you know, which is a Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM, you know, and it's basically a tablet for doing Zoom meetings and taking notes and stuff. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. Now, so there's the JS-1P and the JS-1P Plus. Now here's what the front of the that's what the front of the carton looks like, and it shows a gentleman there with his notebook computer. Now on the right you'll see the JS-1P, and it's black and it's got a little stand. And on the left, you'll see the JS-1P Plus. There's a couple things different about it. First of all, it does have an XLR connector on it. But it also has what am I trying to say? It has a USB connector on it. What am I doing? Yeah, okay. Now, one of the things I got to do, hang on, I just realized this. Hold on. I have to do, all right, hang on. I got to go back to here just for a second because I'm going to copy this and put this over here, if it will. Yeah. I didn't put my chat in that scene. So yeah, I'm just going to do this and open the chat. Yeah. Let me go back to here for a second just to see them. Okay, so Dave says, since you're testing the new mic, I just turned on my wireless headset. They're set at 7% power. That's okay. I appreciate it. Let me just do this and see if I can copy this over here too. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. I think I copied the chat over here. So let me see. Did it copy? No, it didn't. Yeah, hold on a second. I got to make sure. See the I don't want to miss the chat. So copy. Okay. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste the reference. There you go. Okay. Now, if I lock that, then okay, there we go. Now I am going to need to turn the chat off a little bit once in a while here just to make it clear, you know, what I'm showing. Now this is the back, and this is the case right here. This is the back of the carton. All right, so let me do this, and I will cut off the chat just for a second. This thing comes black, white, and pink. Man, I got to tell you, if I could get a pink mic, you know what I would do with that? I would dedicate a stand. I would never take that mic. If I had a pink mic, I love pink. And I don't care what anybody says, man. It's one of the coolest colors ever. I'd leave that on the stand all the time. Now, the mic on the right, it says JS-1P. That's what I've got. It's a condenser mic, USB output. It's got a headphone jack, There's a volume control so you can monitor. See the headphone, excuse me, the microphone has two USB channels. It's mono, but it feeds on two USB channels to the PC, but it takes two USB channels back. So it's actually a 2x2. So you can monitor your computer by using the microphone. You don't need a console. You don't need an interface. The microphone is an interface. You plug your headphones into the side of it, and there's a thumb wheel. I'm going to show you all that later. So it's really nice. And so you've got like no latency monitoring because you're monitoring right off the mic. Okay. There's a cardioid pattern. And as like I said, you can't go wrong using this for most recording applications. There's an instant mute function. I'll show you that. There's a button in the front. When you press it, you can hear it, but I mean, I don't know how to not make it make a noise, but you press the button and the light turns green and it goes off. Then you press it and it comes back on and the light goes green. Did I say that? The light goes red and it's off, and it's green when it's on. And it says it's available in black. Now, if you look at the Plus, it's a condenser microphone with a USB, and it has the same headphone jack arrangement, but it has two patterns. It has cardioid and omnidirectional, and it has an XLR cable also. So you can do a pro connection for higher end mixers and controllers, and it comes with a slightly different stand, as you'll see. Let me show you this again in the front. See. Hey Neil, hi from the UK. Nice to have you with us. Sorry I didn't see your comment. I had that turned off just for a second. So the white microphone there that he's got, you can see has this deluxe stand, you know, with the little ring on the bottom, and there's an XLR connector on it. On the bottom, you can see he's got his headphones plugged in there. Okay. All right. So we've seen the top of the carton, and now I'm going to show you the specs. And let me see what I can do about. Hang on a second. I'm going to just move this over here a little bit more. Hang on. Let's see what that did. No, I guess it didn't. Yeah, I think I may have moved the wrong thing, but all right. So this is the specs, and let me see. Okay, there you go. I'm going to move it over here a little bit like this. USB type connector. This is the 1P. This is not the the Plus. This thing does, 16 and 24 bit depth, which is really cool because a lot of applications still use 16 bit. But here's the cool thing. It goes from 44.1, which is compact disc, all the way up to 96 kilohertz. That's pretty darn good. And this is the cheap one. There's an indicator when you're on USB, and mute is red and talk is green. Frequency response 20 to 20K. It's pretty standard. Cardioid, and there's a headphone volume adjustment. Like I said, the thumb wheel stuff, I'll show you that in a minute. So the output is pretty good. It's 55 milliwatts by, 55 milliwatts into 32 ohms. Now I'm using a pair of professional studio headphones, 32 ohms, and it is loud. It's powering these. I mean, it'll power your earbuds like nothing. But if you can power 32 ohm studio quality headphones, I mean, that's the gig right there. That's what you need. And so that is the One Plus. So excuse me, that is the One, but not the Plus. So let me do this, and I'm going to show you the One Plus right now, because the One Plus has a couple of features that the One does not have. All right, see, let me get this off. Let me get that on. Okay. Now here we go. This is the One Plus. It has a USB Type-C connector. It's on the side. If you look closely at the microphone body, you see the big black knob, but look over to the left. You can see the, below that to the left, you can see the USB-C, but USB-C connector, but the bottom still has an XLR. Now you can't get audio out of both of them at the same time, which I did talk to JTS about that, and they think that's a good idea, and they said they're going to pursue that in future designs. But let me just explain for a second why it's so cool to have a mic that has an XLR and a USB digital output. It means that if you have a legacy type system, like for years, and I'm a console guy. I have 2 consoles in here. I have 64 channels across 2 consoles. And for years, I used a mini console that had its own USB interface, and it had an XLR input, right? Just regular mic pre's. But the thing is you can buy a mic like this, like the JS-1P Plus, and it's backward compatible with analog systems, but it's also future proof because you can just plug the USB cable in and go digital, and it's really nice. And it accepts phantom power up the XLR jack, or it can be powered from the USB port. Fantastic. The same A to D, D to A conversion, 44.1 to 96 kilohertz at either 16 or 24 bit. The same indicator, mute is red, talk is green, same frequency specs. There are 2 patterns, cardioid and omni, which is really nice. There's a switch between them, because if you're having somebody in the studio, 1 or 2 or even 3 people around one microphone, it gets very convenient when it's an omnidirectional pattern. Same headphone jack, 3.5 millimeters. The only thing that's different is the power consumption is 0.2 of a watt higher. And it comes with a USB-C cable. And so that's what it looked like. Now, the most amazing thing that I wasn't even prepared for was that when I picked up the microphone, I took it into the house and opened up the box. I was not prepared for how heavy this mic is, because I have this industrial scale in front of my house. I've been weighing parts and castings, bike parts and all kinds of stuff, right? But because this thing is die cast, you can see how beautiful it is. I mean, it looks fantastic. And the satin finish on it, it doesn't look to me like it's going to scratch very easy. It's almost 1 pound, okay? And so I had to include that, for our Imperial viewers, who use Imperial measurements. But for Asian and European viewers, it is 0.4 kilograms, which is really heavy. I mean, that's that's amazingly heavy for a little mic. And like I said, it's completely die cast, and it's aluminum zinc alloy. So man, I love this thing. But now here's what I want to do. I want to show you a little video, and I'm gonna talk, the video while it plays, and there's no sound, but I'm going to show you how beautiful this thing. First of all, I'm going to show you this video, and the big red light is going to be on, showing that it's muted. And when you press the center button, which is the volume control, and the volume control is a continuous control because it's an encoder. So it's not going to wear out because it's not a potentiometer, it's an encoder. And so here's what it looks like. And you press this button, and it's muted and unmuted. It's fantastic. And then there's a volume control there, see, for your monitors. But on the back, on the side is a thumb wheel. See, up is towards the mic, and down is toward the USB return, from your computer. So that makes it super, super easy to monitor, because you don't have to use your speakers, and you can just plug your headphones right in that jack down there at the bottom. And it really does 2 things at once. It's monitoring the return from the PC through the mic, and at the same time, you're hearing yourself without any latency. So it's pretty amazing. And, there are other microphones that do that, like the one that comes to mind is the Blue Yeti, which is a really nice mic. And that's one of the mics that this one is you know, it's a like a direct competition against them, against that mic. And I will tell you that I've heard a lot of these, you know, condenser microphones. I have another condenser microphone. It's in my mic cabinet over here in the studio. I don't have it out, but it is a Tascam Tm80. It's a cheap, maybe $150 large capsule cardioid single pattern microphone. It's an XLR microphone, and that's it. Doesn't do anything else. And it's actually, wait a minute, that mic in Taiwan was cheaper. That mic in Taiwan was about $50 now that I think about it. What did I say? No, that mic was about $50. It doesn't do anything except a cardioid pattern. There's no switches on it, no controls on it, no USB. And so this mic, you know, being USB, has a lot more flexibility. It's digital domain, and there's a mute switch on it. So you press the button in, then you press the button back, and you're on the air. And that's really nice, because if you got to go now, because the switch is mounted on the mic, you do hear a little click every time it goes off. But quite frankly, on any of the other microphones that I have, if I'm adjusting the stand, or, you know, like on the bigger mics, there's a pad on them, or there's like a what do you call like a low frequency roll off. And Dave experiences this too, and everybody does. If you even touch your mic, it's going to make noise. So the fact that you're pushing what is a detented switch and it goes, that ain't bad, because the alternative is even worse, of like having something happen and you need to turn the mic off and you can't do it. Now, one thing I want to say is I took a flashlight and I shined the light through the filter in front of, you know, on the capsule of the mic, and the light didn't even shine through. It's a very, very powerful flashlight, which shows that, you know, the dust coverage is really good. But I don't know any condenser mic that doesn't need a pop filter. You're gonna need some kind of pop filter. And I got just one of these real cheap little clip-on ones, and it goes on one side. And if I blow on it, you can hear it a little bit. But I got it pretty close. I mean, it's, you know, this far away. And I've been speaking, and it's good enough to get rid of the plosives, you know, P. No problem at all. And the mic is loud. I've got this thing turned, it's actually down by 2.4 dB. It's generally meant to sit on the desk. I like to have it a little higher because I also like a little proximity effect, which this does have because it's a condenser. But I'm going to tell you, man, the thing is loud, and it's super clean. I did do a little bit of recording with it earlier, and I was quite impressed at the high end. Although even though there is a lot of high end, there's still a lot of body in the bottom end. And so, yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about this series of mics, and I'm really excited about it. But let me say, in conclusion, they did not give me this mic to keep. I have to return it to them in a couple of days. Yeah, I'm not keeping it. They didn't give it to me. They're not paying me for any of this. JTS, I'm a JTS fan ever since I found that mic that Dave helped me get from Japan. And then I've got the JTS earphones, and I've been talking with a representative about some of the products they've got, and I just, made contact with them. And this happens with me a lot. I work with manufacturers or software developers and start developing a rapport and a relationship with them, and then, hey, then we start doing stuff together. So the cool thing is JTS has already listened to a couple of ideas that I have, and I talked to him actually yesterday. I had a meeting with George and Hank, and talked to them about a new JTS product, and they're pretty excited about the prospect of it. So I thought that was really cool. So I've been talking a lot. So let's do this. Let's let's take a break for a second here. All right. See you on the other side.
Welcome here from the top of Europe, and you're watching Taiwan Live with MJ Klein.
Hi, this is Rob Ebner, and you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein.
Hello, my name is Ken Rod, and you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein.
Hello, my name is Coco, also known as Val, and I live in North Carolina. Yes, I am in the Carolinas. And I just want to welcome you because you are on Late Night with MJ Klein.
All right. I love it. So, all right. So what I'd like to know is what in the world is going on with you guys? And I got to tell you, I'm liking this mic so much that I might buy it. Actually, I'm thinking about buying the Plus version because it comes in pink. I mean, I got to show you this again, okay? And I know you guys, you think I'm nuts. Well, that's okay because I kind of am. But let me go down here, and I got to show you this again, okay? Let's see, is it this one? Hang on. I got to find, yeah, here you go. Okay. I mean, guys, look at, how cool is that, okay? That's the Plus version. It comes with the deluxe stand. You can clearly see the USB port on the side. Bottom is XLR. And so, you could, for example, if you had a console, you could leave the XLR, handy and just unplug it. Leave it plugged into your console, then plug in your USB, and you can do a live stream with it or something, which is nice. I mean, because the other thing too is there are a lot of guys like John Sabot and other nomadic kind of broadcasters, and they have a very sophisticated but very simplistic setup. They've got high quality recorders, high quality mixers, and so forth, but they're all on, battery powered. And I got to tell you, you can have a notebook and one of these mics and power it with the USB-C cable and have, all the power and all the fidelity of a fully functional condenser microphone, large capsule condenser microphone with two patterns. You get the omnidirectional pattern, so you can be sitting across from somebody doing an interview. You got that fantastic monitor section on it that you can get the balance between the USB signal coming back from the PC. And I got to tell you, that pink one, man, that's the one I would get. What do you guys think? White one looks nice too. But they're all metal. They're not plastic. And the finish on the tube mic that I showed earlier is just phenomenal. It's this unbelievable kind of gunmetal blue. And when I opened the box and took the JS-1P standard version that was black, when I took that thing out of the box, it just, salmon, there you go. Hey, you know what? That's it. That's a manly color. So somebody comes up to you and says, hey man, that's a pink mic. No, it's salmon. It's smoked salmon. Yeah, bro, it's salmon. You're right about that. They need a coffee color too, because that coffee brown, with the little creamer in it, I like that color too a lot. And I like that. Believe it or not, I like that coffee color in a skin tone. I like it if I go get a tan. I got that darker look on my face. I like that too. But the that salmon on the pink, man, that's just then that's what I would do. And I'll tell you what would be really really crazy is if you could find a pink or salmon colored USB cable. I mean, how cool would that be? Oh boy. So I'm really digging this mic, and I'm loving the fact that, you know, like I don't have either console on. I don't have my Soundcraft Ghost. I don't have my X32. My X32 is sitting here with the cover on it because I usually process everything through it. Now that means also that I can't do those digital effects and things that I was. Remember a couple of weeks ago I was goofing around and showed you some echo and some, you know, reverb and stuff, right, in the console. But with the Plus version and the XLR cable, you could do that. You know, you can just it becomes a legacy microphone. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that John Sabot knows about this new mic, and I can't say that I'm on JTS's good side yet. Let's just say they don't dislike me yet. I haven't done anything to make them dislike me, but I'm gonna ask them if I can get a customer code. You know what I mean? A discount code. What do you think? Should we try to ask them for a discount code? What do you think? Would that be cool or what? Man, oh man. Because if we could get a discount code, I mean, that'd be phenomenal, wouldn't it? While I'm thinking of it, I do have some more videos of this thing, and I may be able to locate one real quick that has I didn't quite do it justice with I mean, you know, the video that I took that was it had to be in portrait mode, because that video that I took of the buttons on the side and, you know, the thumb wheel and everything from the monitor, if I took that in landscape mode, there would have been too many distracting things going around on the outside, right? But the fact that I show the mic as I wonder if it's this one. I don't think I can play this back. I'm having trouble with my VLC player, but let me do this. Let me pop this over here for a second, and I'm going to see if I can play this video. Okay, if I can play this video. All right, where did it go? Yeah. Okay. This video is going to be cool. All right, let me do this. Let me play one more video that just shows me quickly handling this mic, so you can see how beautiful the contours on it are. And it is, like I said, it's die-cast aluminum zinc alloy, and it's hard as nails. I have no doubt. I was telling George, because George is the JTS rep. I said, you know something, if you had an emergency and you had to jack up your car to change a tire and you're on a hill, you could just shove that under the wheel, you know, as a wheel chock. Or if you needed to, you know, to tap a nail in that was sticking out in a chair you just sat in and cut yourself, you could use this thing. I mean, seriously, this is what what it looks like with let me do this. This is what it looks like with the die-cast aluminum body. Here we go. Okay, I got to do this. It's got to restart. There you go. Now look at that. That is just beautiful. Is that not beautiful or what? Look at that thing. So that's what I wanted to show you, was the contours. Now, Matthew, can you imagine that in the salmon? Ooh, baby. Oh yeah. All right, so one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't actually set it up yet, because sometimes I don't think about these things until I'm in the middle of it. So here's what I want to do. I want to set this up, and the text is going to be, my goodness. Yeah, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to change the, and select the color. I think I'm going to make it like a nice kind of like this color, because I kind of like this color too. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put this over the top, and I'm going to, let me see if I can do this. Ooh, that's crazy. Hold on. I should have done this earlier. But what I want to do is I'm trying to promote our technology forum, and it's a really nice forum. Somebody asked me, what is the domain? But the domain is technology. So this is HTTPS, you know, it's a, yeah, secure site, and live streaming dot technology. I should put it above my head a little bit more, maybe about like there. There you go. Okay, that's not in the way of anything, and I'm just going to leave that there because, excuse me, that's our live streaming technology forums that I started last month. Matthew, Dave, and Dean are members. We don't have very many members, but we have quite a few posts. They're mostly mine because I set it up, and I'm, you know, of course, I'm more familiar with operating it. But here's the intent of the site. The intent is that, well, let's see. The intent is for us to have a place where live streamers and content creators can do additional things in a forum, kind of like, or not unlike, a blog in some respects, but not actually a blog. And sometimes, you know, sometimes people want to find you, you know, and they want to be able to talk to you and chat with you. Now, the old days used to be able to to send people, for example, on YouTube, used to be able to send them messages, but you can't do that anymore. You might be able to get an email, right? But the thing is, with live streaming.technology, right? You can go to a live streamer's forum. Sorry, I'm distracted because I'm doing things in the background. You can do you can leave messages. You can post messages there on their live streaming platform, and they can respond to you. So that's really, really important, I think. And let's see if this will, I don't think so. This will do anything, will it? No. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is give you a, yeah, hang on. Oh, I see. Yeah. There we go. That may work now. There you go. This is what it looks like. That is the forum. And you simply log in, you can register, log in. And there are a number. I can't scroll this because this is just a web source. But there are a number of really interesting forums. We have all the video-based forums, even, Reddit, PAN, but we've got Twitter Live, Twitch, of course, YouTube and D Live and everything else you can think of. And what we're also offering is forums for live streamers themselves, so that foreigners can live streamers have their own forums. So that's what I'm getting into, what I'm trying to get to. Excellent. Thanks. That's what I wanted to hear, because in my headphones, these are studio headphones, and they have a really broad range with a full bottom end. And in my headphones, it sounds very similar to the tube mic, which is remarkable because the tube mic is a tube preamp, and that mic is just pristine. So yeah, please, if you get a chance, please check out livestreaming.technology, because yeah, it will definitely help the cause. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a community where people can share things about live streaming. Because, like, for example, this microphone here was designed for live streamers. So I'm going to post information about this mic. I'm going to do a final review. This is just something that I wanted to throw out there tonight, tonight's show. But I got a bunch of clips, and I'm going to put them all together, and I'm going to do a voiceover, and I'm probably going to use this mic if I can. Unfortunately, the way I'm set up with Reaper, I use a Dante audio network over Ethernet from my console to the PC, and I have mismatch problems with the bit rate and the sampling frequency. So I might not be able to actually use this mic for the voiceover. But obviously, I'm using the mic now, and so anybody that wants to hear it can just go to this broadcast. And so in the review, I can link to the broadcast. But I'm going to be putting all that information on livestreaming.technology, and links to this broadcast. And I'm probably going to put the final version of the actual review, because I'm going to go into a lot more detail. I'm going to, go into the specs more and so forth, and some of the other things too about the mounting and so forth that I haven't gotten into here. But the point is I'm probably going to put that on Phoenix Media Forge YouTube channel. I've only got 2 videos. I'm not trying to build a community, not trying to build it up. It's just a storage place that I use, like, for stuff that's related to my studio. Because I have, the website, phoenixmediaforge.com. I do articles there, write articles. I wrote some articles about Dante and some other things there. And so occasionally I have to do some kind of a video. So I just put it there, and link to it. And, a link to YouTube. And so I put it on the Phoenix Media Forge YouTube channel is what I'm trying to say. But I would be linking that, to this website. Now I trust Dave's judgment, because he has that beautiful Shure microphone, and that thing is known. I mean, I see a lot of YouTubers and others, broadcasters using that Shure, the SM7, and it's a power horse, and it's a workhorse. And the other thing about it too is that I think this mic is a lot. I think I just overloaded it. I'm going to turn it down just a hair. I think it's just getting just a little bit into the peaks. Yeah, this is minus 0.87 dB. That's dB. That's not volume units. That's dB. if I turn it all the way up, it's too much. It's crazy. This thing is just so hot. But that's good because in some situations you need gain, and if you don't have it, then you have to use something else, and it cranks it up. So sometimes you run into that. But here we are with this, and it's fantastic. So I trust Dave's judgment when it comes to these mics, and a lot of YouTubers are using the Shure mic, but I think that this one's going to be a big hit, and I think a lot of people are going to end up getting this. Now, about the price, I asked him about the price, and George referred me to a website in England that was selling these for 75 pounds. That translates to about 140 US dollars, I think. And so for this one, now the plus version is going to be more, but I don't know how much more. And I guess they're still kind of working that out. But this mic, because it's very, very new, but this mic for 139 bucks, 140 bucks might seem like a lot, but it does a lot too. And like I said, there isn't any plastic on this thing. Not that you would ever want to drop one of these mics, because you drop a mic and it's going to damage the capsule, perhaps. But at least you know if you drop this, the damage would be limited to the capsule. It would be relatively easy to just rebuild the mic and replace that. It wouldn't like crack the case unless you drop it off a building or something. But I gotta tell you, that would make an interesting YouTube video. I would drop one of these off like the roof of my house, and I'll bet nothing would happen. I bet it would break the capsule. But unless it landed on the knob, if it didn't land on the knob, because the USB, is kind of, it sticks out a little bit. I mean, I think it would do pretty well, to be honest with you. But they're not going to give me one to do that with, so. So what's today? Thursday. Okay, Thursday. So what are we going to do on Sunday now that we can't go anywhere? Oh, man. I want to go to Mr. Wu's. I want to sit at the table, and I'm going to move this over a little bit more, kind of towards the center. There we go. Sorry, that's the noise of the stand. What in the world are we going to do? We can't go to Mr. Wu's. We can't, I don't know. It's just, yeah. I went to Win-Win's today, and all the chairs are put up and stuff. And I went to High Life to buy some stuff. All the chairs are put up. You can't sit, can't do nothing. I mean, I can go to the park and sit, but as soon as there's, anywhere near 10 people, that are around us, you have to break it up. You have to break it up. Let me try something here. All right. I moved this mic like pretty far away. It's like, what's that? Two hand breadths away. And let me do this. Okay, that's 0 dB. Do you see what I'm saying? This thing really has a lot of output. I was closer to it because I'm accustomed to speaking closer to the microphone for proximity effect. And if you turn it down, you get more of a proximity effect, which is a lower end kind of sound out of it. See, the lower end kind of sound, where you get more bottom end out of it, which is a common characteristic of most mics. So you can adjust how you want it to sound, but typically I keep it like, when I'm using a tube mic, I keep it like just about right here. And I can hear in my headphones a distinct difference between when it's, further away in here and closer. So that's another reason to use a large capsule condenser microphone is because it's a lot more versatile than many mics. Although the Shure SM7 is specifically known for that, even though it's a dynamic mic, it's not a condenser mic. It's a very sensitive, very well built dynamic mic that is known for having, in particular, a lot of proximity effect. And I see many broadcasters, with the mic right here facing up, so they don't, they're not getting pops into it, but facing up like this. A lot of guys are it's like right under their chin. And they sound great. I also like them overhead too, but if you're doing a live stream and it's right here, that kind of looks dumb, but if it's over to the side, it's not a problem. And I really like that a lot. A little bit of whiskey, a little bit of ice water. Now, what I still can do is I can go to the park and, I can set up with my gimbal and I can hang out at the park and do that kind of stuff. I can't go to any restaurants and sit. I could go to Mr. Wu's and get like a load of stuff for takeout. I can go to the chicken place. You guys remember the Fat Uncle place? I can go to the takeout. That laundromat is still open. Remember that place I went to? I've been there a couple times. It's a pretty cool place. But if there's more, if there's 4 people there already and I go in, then nobody else can legally come in. And that may not be a good idea. So one other thing I want to show you, I've been thinking about this a lot, especially where I have a daughter. Now, Phoenix just recently, just week ago yesterday, the previous Wednesday, she actually started remote learning with Google Classroom. Now, we have not experienced that before because in Taiwan, we have not had that kind of a lockdown. But the Central Epidemic Command Center, man, they went ballistic. They had a couple of hundred of local transmission cases. Excuse me. Just shifting my weight on the stool, and they went nuts. I don't use it. I don't use a chair. I use a stool. I have a stool in the studio. Adjustable height is from IKEA, and it goes, back around, and it has a tilting base on it. So it's nice. I can lean back, and I can get a nice stretch of my lower back, or I can sit forward and get the lordosis curve. It's really fantastic. All right. But right before we had the lockdown and she had to go in remote learning, I had bought her a body camera. I think everybody should have one of these. It has SD card, mini SD card slot in the bottom, and USB charge. This one runs continuously for 6 hours. It also has motion detect, and it has night infrared on it too. And this thing was like 70 US bucks. It's got a clip, and the clip is very robust. So basically what you do is you just put it in your pocket and you don't tell anybody. And if they ask you, well, just tell them what's a body cam. And, some places people are kind of militant about it. What do you got a body cam for? And, you never know. And most of the time, if you're polite, you can tell people, well, sometimes people hassle me and I don't know why. And so, yeah, you should get one too, man. And just, don't make it like a confrontational thing. The other thing you can do is put it up here like this. So it's a little bit higher and kind of represents more of a view, But the other thing too is because it has a motion detect on it, and because it has infrared, you can be in your hotel room and you can clip this on something like maybe on the dresser, or like on the desk. You can clip it like on the pull handle, and you can turn it on and turn it on night vision and turn it on motion detect. And so if anything bizarre goes on in your room at night, you can record it. Wide angle lens. It's not stereo, but it picks up mono. It's got a really nice mic in it. And what I did was one time I stuck it in here, like I was saying, in my, in the V of my shirt, and drove my car. And I had a remarkably good record of what I was doing. And the cool thing about it is like if I put my turn signal on, it was on the camera, and also my speed was on the camera. Cause like with my my dash camera, I have a front and rear camera system, and I turn the audio off. I turn the microphone off. I don't want to record my wife and I talking about private matters or something, or who knows. Because what happens is you forget it's on. You start talking. I mean, if like, about things that you just don't want. It's private matters. You just don't want anybody to know this. So this would be a different situation. And the thing with the dash cam is, because there's no audio, it can't tell when I turn my signal on, because there's no noise, And so with this thing though, it's looking at the dashboard of the car. You can see the steering wheel. You can see me, flipping on. So you can see everything. So I really recommend these. I mean, with the kind of climate that we have nowadays, yeah, it runs for 6 hours straight, and it'll run for a lot longer if you put it on motion detect, which is really cool. So with Phoenix, what she would have to do is take it to school, ride the bus, and then turn it off to go to class, because you can't record inside the school. But then as soon as she gets out of school, back on. So yeah, I highly recommend this. And the other thing too is you can make some fun videos. I can get a different kind of perspective. When things open up a little more and we can go back out and do some more field recording, I'm going to be using my gimbal and popping this thing on at the same time. Okay, should be nice. Now, speaking of gimbal, I got it over here. I got the OM4 Osmo, and I bought this really cool silicone rubber handle protector for it, man. And it's like cut out for all the buttons, see? All right. And it works great. And there's the USB port on the side. There's the other USB-C here. On the other side is the zoom control. And man, when you're using this thing, this is really comfortable. It's got, you can see ridges on it, and it protects, the finish on this thing, and got a nice firm grip on it, and it was nice. And it didn't cost that much. That thing was about $10. I've seen it for cheaper, but yep. So that was a really, really good addition. And you just you kind of roll it up like a sock. You just open it up and roll the thing up, and man, it went on like nothing. So I recommend that as a nice accessory. And if you go to livestreaming.technology, one of the in the hardware section, we have a forum for gimbals, and I wrote about this, and I showed this, and I showed a bunch of pictures of that thing on there, like that, that little grip. I also showed the weight set that I got for the counterweights, because the way my phone is designed, you run into these problems, and this is one of the reasons that it's nice to have a technology forum. This is my phone. This is a Xiaomi, and let me do this so you can see the camera. See, there's 3 cameras, right? There's a 48 megapixel, and then there's what they call the wide, then there's the ultra wide. Now the white thing on the bottom is the LED, but this camera right up here, this is the ultra wide, and it's closest to the center of the phone. If the ultra wide was at the top, the design would be a lot better, because you've got a motor, you got a clamp and a motor sticking there. And so what I have to do is I have to move the phone this way to get the camera, you know, away from, see, like that, to get the camera away from it. In other words, when I put the clamp, because the Osmo OM4 has this really cool magnetic clamp. And so they recommend that you put it in the center of the phone, and that's what attaches, right? But if I put it in the center of the phone, then it's too close to the camera. Okay, so I have to do this. Okay, I got to do this and move it away from the phone. I mean, away from the camera. So when I put it on, you see how offset it is? It's off to one side. By the way, this, I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful phone. It's hard to see, but it's all glass, and it's got these unbelievable colors. But that was the Xiaomi 9T Pro that came out at the end of 2019. I've had it ever since. It's a great phone, and there are no holes in the screen because it's got a pop-up camera. It's one reason I love it. So what I needed to do was buy a set of counterweights for the gimbal, because where this thing mounts on the side of the motor, there's a threaded hole. And so when you're looking at it like this, you can put the counterweights on it, and boy, does it work. It's fantastic. And I just set this down on my console and just stuck to this deal. So yeah, with it on, and you know, just holding it like this, you can see that it wants to drop like instantly because I've got it so far away from the camera. So I can put those, here's the threaded hole. So the weight stack goes out like this, and it counterbalances it. Now I wrote all about this on livestreaming.technology. If you're interested to see what those counterweights look like and how to use them, and with the nice black silicone, amazing, beautiful handle on that thing, because it really protects it a lot. You can check it out in the forum that we set up for gimbals. All right, with that, I think I'm going to put this back together, and I think I'm going to sign off and say Zaijian Wan An from Taiwan. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And I'll be on Sunday night, barring any sort of an emergency that goes on. Thank you for watching, and I just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody, and you know, check out this new mic. It's been really great, and I appreciate. I want to say thank you to JTS for trusting me to do a review for them, and I wanted to show you a little bit about what's going on with the the gimbal and this little puppy here, which I recommend. I think everybody should have a body camera. You know, if everybody had a body camera, it would change the dynamics of interaction, social interaction. A lot of people today do stuff because they think they're going to get away from it. They think that, you know, you have to get out your phone and then you have to start recording. So you miss the beginning of the altercation. So they can say that anything happened, or maybe even you can't get to your phone. You're too engaged with, you know, somebody. So if everybody has these body cams, there's a reason why law enforcement has them. So that's why. Thank you so much, you guys. And we'll see you on Sunday. Fist pump. Bye-bye.